Welcome to this System Yoga Find Your Fire Vinyasa class. We're going to be stoking the inner fire in the body and sweating on the outside of the body with some fast-moving dynamic Vinyasa flows coupled with some longer Asana holds, really working into that isometric strength that yoga is so great for. We'll be working up to Warrior 3 as our peak pose. So when you're ready, let's start at the top of the mat in Tadasana mountain pose, feet hips distance, toes facing forward, ground down into all four corners of the feet, spread and lift the toes, create a really solid foundation, working up the body, firm the inner thighs, engage the outer glutes, draw the ribs in, navel in, broaden across the collarbones, hands by the side, energy in the fingertips, and begin to draw attention to the breath. Inhaling and exhaling out through the nose. It might be the first time all day you've really taken notice of your breath. If it is, notice the length of the inhale, the length of the exhale. Notice the sound, the texture. Bring the attention to that little bit of space between the bottom of your nose, your nostrils, and the top of your lip. Gaze softly ahead. And we'll start to stoke the inner fire right away, warming the body from the inside of our Ujjayi breath, our victorious breath. So a reminder on our exhale, we're constricting the throat like we're fogging up a mirror or we're fogging up a glass. The mouth stays closed, breath comes out through the nose. And you should start to hear that ocean wave sound, create heat through the body as we open out this class. Try and keep that breath going throughout the class, particularly in those parts of the class which are particularly challenging. It can really help us go that extra mile. If you lose it, don't worry at all. Just bring the attention back and pick up where you left off. When you're ready, we'll start moving. Feet again at the top of the mat. Inhale, sweep the arms out to come up, gaze up as the palms touch. On your exhale, fold all the way down. Uttanasana, forward fold. Step the feet apart. Keep a bend in the knees for this first one. Enjoying the sensation of the head underneath the heart. Grab opposite elbows, bring the hands to the mat, whichever you choose. Keep that breath going. Bring the weight forward towards the toes, deepening that hamstring stretch. I've got particularly tight hamstrings. I like to keep a bend in the knees most times I do this pose. Avoid really rounding into the back. We'll take a few more breaths here. As we can open out. Inhale, hands come to the shins, flat back. And on exhale, the hands come back to the mat to frame the front foot. Step back into our first plank pose of the practice. Stay in here for a little bit of time. Tuck the tailbone in, push the ground away. And a great example of that isometric engagement we talked about earlier. All the muscles are working very, very hard to resist the effect of gravity on the body. Keep breathing deeply. Firm the inner arms in towards the midline like you've got a big beach ball or something in there and you're trying to hold it in with the inner forearms. Engage the glutes. Firm the inner thighs. Maybe smile, enjoy it, feel the core start to work, feel that inner fire start to build inside the body. You do need to modify, bring the knees down of course. A few more breaths here, starting us off strong. It's a great part of the practice to really bring the breath in. And the body's screaming, even at this early part. Breath can help us go deeper. Inhale, shift the shoulders past the wrists. Exhale, bend the elbows all the way down to the mat. Slide the hands forward, so elbows and shoulders are in one line. And inhale, peel the chest off the mat, gaze up at the tip of the nose, Sphinx pose. Exhale, come all the way back down to the mat. Hands come down by the sides, preparing for locust pose. A second prone back bend. Lifting arms, legs, and head as we inhale. Gaze up at the tip of the nose. Exhale, come back down to the mat. Rest on one side of the cheek if that feels good for you. Bring the hands under the shoulders. On your inhale, peel the chest off the mat, low cobra. Exhale, roll over the feet, knees, hips lead the way up and back to your first downward facing dog of the practice, maybe of the day. Pedal out into the feet. Bring a little bit of movement in, whatever feels good. Making that upside down letter V shape with the body. Make sure you keep equal weight in the hands and the feet. Grip down into the mat. Maybe with the head side to side. Move into areas of sensation. And then find stillness. Inhale, gaze forward between the hands. Exhale, tiptoe slowly back up to your Uttanasana forward fold. See how many tiptoes you can take to get there. Grab opposite elbows. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way out to come up. Gaze up as the palms touch. Exhale, the hands come to the heart. Moving into the second round, our Sun Salutation A, or our modified Sun Salutation A. Making a few amends as we continue to build that heat. Inhale, sweep the arms out to come up, gaze up as the palms touch. Exhale, fold all the way down through center. Uttanasana, the feet come out, hips distant. Inhale, hands to shins, flat back. Exhale, hands come back, down, framing the front foot, plank pose. Here for a shorter amount of time, you'll be pleased to hear than last time. Inhale, shoulders past the wrist, exhale, chest comes all the way down to the mat. Preparing for Sphinx pose, forearms to the mat. On our inhale, peel the chest up to the sky, gaze up at the tip of the nose. Exhale, back down to the mat. Hands come back round, preparing for a locust pose. Coming in on the inhale, peeling chest, peeling arms, peeling legs, peeling face off the mat. Draw the ribs in, navel in. Exhale, back down to the mat. Forearms come back down to the mat, as if we're coming into our Sphinx. Instead, we pop back up into forearm plank. Forearm plank. Should have round away. We're going to flip our arms so the backs of the hands are on the mat and our palms are facing us. And then we're going to imagine that we've got a piece of rope in between them and we're pulling it away. Pulling it away with each of our hands, going to turn on some of those shoulder muscles. Going to be so helpful for us later on. Exhale. Forearms back to the mat the right way. Palms on the earth. And then we're going to walk our feet in, coming into dolphin. Dolphin pose, great strengthening for the shoulders. Pushing the wrists, pushing Forearms down into the earth, creating that downward dog-esque shape of the body. Bending the knees if you need it. Couple of breaths here. Exhale, stepping back down. Back into our forearm plank. Inhale. Exhale, coming back to the mat. Preparing for our cobra or upward facing dog, hands under the shoulders. Inhale, peeling the chest off the mat. Upward facing dog. Exhale, roll over the feet, hips, knees, lead the way back to downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet again. Hopefully feel that heat building in the body quite nicely. Inhale, gaze forward between the hands. Exhale, tiptoe forward. How many tiptoes can you take to get there? And you beat your last round. Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms out to come up, gaze up, palms touch. Exhale, hands come to the heart. Preparing for our next sequence, still building that heat. Feet together at the top of the mat. Inhale, sweep the arms down and back and up. Sit down into your chair pose, Utkatasana. Definitely feeling that heat building the quads. Bring the weight back into the heels. Should be able to see both toes. Look at your knees. Check neither one is tracking forward of the other. You can see both toes. Arms are up overhead. Inhaling length into the side body. Exhaling depth into your foundation, sitting a little bit deeper. Arms can be nice and wide if you're tightening the shoulders. Maybe smile again. Feel that heat building, that fire burning. Inhale. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Grab opposite elbows. Inhale, hands to shins, flat back. Exhale, hands frame the front feet, step back, plank pose. Little bit of time here, couple of breaths, long isometric holds, really building that strength. It's where yoga comes into its own when you compare it to other resistance trainings. Other resistance training is fantastic for a lot of concentric and eccentric muscle engagement, as is yoga, but when we hold our asana for a long time like this, the isometric strength really builds. Inhale, shoulders past the wrists. Exhale, bend at the elbows, come onto the top of the feet in chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, roll over the feet, downward facing dog. Keeping moving, feet together at the back of the mat. Inhale, the right leg rises, three-legged downward facing dog. Exhale, right knee, right elbow or tricep. Inhale, holding it here. Exhale, let it slide down to the wrist, hovering it. Gaze forward. Inhale. Exhale, rounding back at the back. Knee comes back up to that tricep or elbow. Inhale, three-legged down, facing dog. With the hips square. Exhale, knee to nose, push the ground away around at the spine. Pop the foot between the hands. Setting up for your high lunge on that right hand side. As you inhale, coming up into that high lunge. Bend deeply into that front right knee. Squeeze the back glute on that left leg. Turning on the psoas, giving you that deep stretch. How deep can you go in that front knee? Try and pull or scrunch up the mat from the front foot to the back foot. That really gets the isometric engagement going. For a challenge, gaze up with the hands. Exhale, fold over that front leg and straighten it into a modified pyramid pose. If you want a deeper hamstring stretch, flex that front foot, pop the toes off the ground, fold deeply. Enjoy that sensation of the head under the heart. More breath here. Rolling back into your preparation for crescent lunge. Inhale, come back into it on that right hand side, that high lunge. Inhale. Exhale, bring the hands by the side and begin to lean over your front knee. You want a 45-degree sort of angle. This energized crescent lunge, and begin to bring more weight into that front heel. Step the back foot in slightly, preparing now for our warrior three, our peak pose. Ground down into that foot, straighten it, keep it nice and strong. As you do it, the back foot lifts. Lift, lift, lift. The torso comes forward, creating the upside down T-shape with the body, warrior three. Flex into that back foot. Try and bring it same sort of height as the glutes. Draw that back hip back and into the midline. Keeping the hips nice and square. Grounding down again, really solid in that front foot. Hands can be at the heart, hands can be ahead, or hands can be back. Into our aeroplane. A little bit of wobbling is good. Push the ground away with the foot. Feel the glutes engaged. More breath. Coming from here, the back left foot meets the front foot. Back into our chair pose. Body screaming. Sit down deeper, sit down deeper, sit down deeper. Inhale, coming all the way up to the sky. Hands come to the heart. Warrior three, such a great pose in so many ways. It's a great strengthener of the glutes on the standing leg, but also builds fantastic proprioception, fantastic awareness of the body, which is so good for the mind, builds fantastic confidence. Hopefully that fire is really burning inside. Maybe there's some sweat outside as well. Take that sequence again on the left hand side. Beginning of our chair pose. Sit back into your chair. Maybe see you can sit a little bit deeper than you did before. Keep the weight in the heels. Maybe the toes come off the ground. Inhaling real length into the side body, exhaling the depth into the ground. Smile, forward fold. Enjoying that. Feeling, head under the heart. Hands, shins flat back on the inhale. Exhale, hands come down to frame the front feet, plank pose. Couple of breaths here. Inhale, exhale, bend at the arms, chaturanga. Go onto the tops of the feet in preparation. Upward facing dog, open the heart. Exhale, run over the feet, downward facing dog. Keeping that movement going. Feet together at the back of the mat, inhale. Left foot rises, three-legged downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale, left knee, left tricep or elbow. Keep that rounding, push the ground away. Firm your arms in towards one another. Inhale, exhale, begin to bring that knee down towards the wrist. it's not touching the ground, how low can you bring it when you get to your lowest point? Gaze forward, push the ground away, firm it in, inhale, exhale, it goes back up to the shoulder, to the tricep, to the elbow. On your inhale, coming back, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee to nose round the spine. Pop it between the hands. Preparation for your high lunge on that left hand side. Check the feet at hips distance. It can be so difficult this pose if you're on a tightrope, if your feet are directly in front of each other like this. You want nice hips distance if you can. As you inhale, coming into it. High crescent lunge. High crescent lunge. Turn on the glute of that back right leg. Bend deeply into that front foot. Gaze up at the hands for a challenge. Exhale, pyramid pose. Straighten that front leg. Fold over. Creating that pyramid shape with the body. Folding over that front leg. One deeper into the hamstrings. Pop that heel. Cool down in preparation for our warrior three on the left hand side. Rocking back in to our crescent lunge prep. And then straight back into it on our inhale. Crescent lunge on the left hand side. Begin to lean forward. Hands come into this kind of aeroplane sort of shape. Step that back foot in. Bring that weight forward, 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 forward. It's that left foot, warrior three. Warrior three, go for it. Last warrior three attempt in this class. Fire should be burning out of control at this point. And embrace that. Draw that back hip into the midline. Keep weighting that upside down. T-shape, see if you can bring the back heel in line with the glutes. Straighten into that left leg, that strong left leg. Hands can be at the heart. Hands can be ahead. Inhale. Exhale, chair pose. Final bit of effort. Smile. Inhale. Sit down deeper, sit down deeper. Sit all the way down onto the mat. Take a big inhale through the nose. Exhale, side out. Let everything go. Feel that fire building the confidence inside the body. You know, fire is such a interesting concept. When it burns too dim, we can fade from action, we can lose confidence in our abilities, we can question ourselves. But on the flip side, when it burns too out of control, we can be dominant, we can be insensitive to the needs of others. So as ever, with everything, we're looking for the balance. Yoga can help us get there. Bring both feet out straight, seated position. Come onto the sits bones. Flex the feet. I like to start with a little bend in the knees for this one. Inhale, bring the arms out like we've been doing. Exhale. Coming forward, more forward than down, and grabbing what you can. Maybe it's your calves, maybe it's your ankles, maybe it's all the way back here, back to your feet, into our Paschimottanasana, Western stretch. Let it all go. Inhale, bring length into the back body. Exhale, melt down into your fold. You don't have to go as deep as you know you can straight away. A little bit of time here. So use that time. Lean into that time. Get there gradually. Very intense pose this. Lots of thoughts can come up. Still a lot of emotion in the hip area. So notice anything that comes up and let go of anything you don't need. Here for 10 more breaths. Last few breaths now. When you're ready on your next inhale, gently come back out the way you came in. Feel the body start to cool. And when you're ready, come onto the back. Bring the knees into the chest. Ground that lower back down into the mat. Inhale. Exhale. Knees out over to the right. Left hand out to the left. Gaze over the left hand. Supine twist. Supine twist. Great poses these to close out the practice. Hopefully now you're feeling good. Gratitude for yourself for taking the time to put your body through that. And know it's going to be so beneficial. Your next inhale, swapping over. Knees come to the left. Right hand out, gaze out to the right. Balancing out what we did on that left hand side. You're ready, knees come back into the chest, hugging it in, bring your nose to your knees, and as you exhale, let everything go. Relaxing down onto the back, into your Shavasana, final pose of this practice. Let everything go. Come back to a normal breath. Release any control over the breath, just let it happen. Let thoughts come and go. Marinate in the benefits of the practice. Feel that fire probably still burning inside the body. Watching it calm. Letting it all go. Staying here for as long as you'd like to, you've got the time. Whenever you're ready, bring the hands together. Namaste. Thank you so much for taking this time to practice with me.